जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೆಗೆ
Hyderabad Punjab Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Well, Punjab come to their new home in Dharamshala and they've felt at home right away because they've managed to restrict Chennai for 167. Everything going right for Punjab with the ball. Rahul Chahar, the pick of the bowlers, 3 for 23 in his 4. Harshal Patel getting 3 as well for 24 in his 4. Arshdeep getting 2. Ravindra Jadeja, the highest run getter with 43. We are back at Cricbuzz Live. Gentlemen, this was not quite the innings we were expecting. Definitely not our prediction score, but 167 considering they were 60 for 1 in the power play and they just get to 167.
I think just brilliant bowling. I thought they bowled brilliantly throughout. I think great first spell by Arshdeep. He got a wicket out there. I thought Rabada was decent. Harpreet went for, a lot of runs in his only over. But after that, once that power play was over, I think Rahul Chahar's 2 hammer blows, Ruturaj and, Shivam Dube were the 2 cornerstones of this batting. He managed to get them out. Then Harshal came and got a wicket, Darren Mitchell. And then after that, they've been always behind the 8 ball.
Yes.
They've been trying to catch up, but they've always been behind. And then Harshal in the end again, bowling beautifully in the end and just cleaning them up. All in all, a very, very mature, very, very polished bowling performance from everybody. Everybody came to the party.
We were talking about this team coming in with the confidence. This looked like a team who knew their plans. They were confident and they've executed the plans well on the field.
Indeed, because as you say, 60 for 1 off their power play. It's not like they were in command. But in saying that, there wasn't too many balls that were kind of middled out of the ground. It didn't look like it was going to be one of those big scoring games. And the surface wasn't going to really allow it. But it's been case in point for Chennai too often this season that they've struggled. People haven't gone in, taken the game by the scruff of the neck and really asserted themselves. It's always been a little bit iffy, and just when they get a partnership going, someone gets out, new batter comes to the crease, struggles for a while. So, yeah, a quality effort by Punjab. I think they'll be really happy with that, and I don't think they'll battle to chase that down. I think with the roll of the surface, it'll probably get a little bit better with the sun having baked on it a little bit more as well. I think they're in the pound seats here.
But exactly what you were saying, because again, that 7 to 10 phase went for very few runs. If we have a look here, 19 runs and they lost 3 wickets. Joyda, this is the similar problem they had in the last game, where between 7 to 15, they didn't hit any boundaries. So clearly that middle phase being a big problem for Chennai.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing is that the last time it was dominated by both the spinners, but because there were 2 left-handers in this time, you had a situation where it was actually Moeen Ali and Jadeja were there. It was dominated actually by Harshal Patel on one side and Rahul Chahar the other. So I think that's what I liked about this bowling performance is often you get bowling performances, 1 or 2 bowlers bowl well. Somebody comes and gives it away. And in this case, Harpreet was unfortunately under the pump in that 5th over. He really got in the 6th over. But what was fantastic is the rest of the bowlers came around and they bowled as a team. And it's really important to bowl as a team because that means that, if one bowler is under any amount of pressure, the other bowlers also maintaining pressure at the other end. So they're not getting away. And I think that's what happened today.
We'll have a look at the bowling card because like you said, they're not letting them get away. At one end, there was Rahul Chahar kind of choking them with no runs and getting those wickets, chipping those wickets in. And Harshal Patel's had a very good day as well, getting 3 wickets in his 4. Did you think your boy Rabada did well today, or would you have liked him to do anything different?
I wasn't happy with what he gave us, and the fact that he didn't have to bowl the 4th over in his spell. But have a look at those 2 at the bottom. They were the middle overs, almost identical figures, 3 for 23, 3 for 24. Wonderful economy rates. And that's in the kind of time where once you're 60 for 1, you're thinking we can put people under pressure. But it's been the case in point for the international batters from Chennai this year. Haven't been able to get going. They haven't dominated. And you think of some of the players in the years gone by who've put in massive performances. Even last year, Conway and the way he played, once he was in and got through the power play, he was dominating terms. So they'll be very disappointed with that. But I suppose you've got to look at it from their perspective and say, okay, we've got 167 on the board. We've got to make it enough. It's not a belter. Yes. It's not one of those wickets that's coming on where you can just stand and deliver and use the altitude to your advantage. So it's probably going to be a challenging score, but I don't see them falling short in this one.
You spoke about the altitude and the advantage it has. In the pre-match show, we thought that the spinners are going to go for a plenty because of the altitude, but Rahul Chahar didn't let that happen. He was very impressive. That particular over where he got 2 wickets has turned the game around for them, hasn't
Absolutely. Okay, the first, you'd say, a bit, outside of some bit of luck.
Yes.
Great keeping because, to just be there and be able to hold it was good. Shivam Dube was really good ball, and I think that's what, even the balls that, let's leave alone the wickets. I think he bowled beautifully, he bowled with a lot of confidence, and they never allowed them to get away. This is the kind of pitch where spinners go, which is why they attack. Just have a look at that. I mean, he got hit for a 4 and a 6, but that was right towards the end of his spell in that last final over. But other than that, it's been absolutely immaculate bowling, and he's really one of the main reasons why the total has really been restricted.
You do also think, you wonder, I mean, there's a wrist spinner who was effective. Brea, when he came on, he kind of disappeared.
True.
Yes.
CSK have got 3 finger spinners.
Finger spinners, true.
So they've got no wrist spinner. So we have to wait and see. Is it a surface where if you bowl with good control and you can start to build your confidence where you can hold even as a finger spinner? Or is it just a quality performance by Chahar?
He was also getting a good assistance and good kind of bounce coming in today, wasn't he?
Yeah. Because a finger spinner is probably not likely to get as much bounce as he does. You're absolutely right.
But the seamers too, I mean, if you think of Curran, Harshal Patel, even Arshdeep, when they were whacking it in with that slow ball, it was definitely coming out of the surface slowly. So it's not a surface that's sliding on, and I think we'll see a lot of change-ups in the second innings as well.
Well, you spoke about Harshal as well, and he's someone who has managed to do something that no one has managed in this IPL, is to get Dhoni out, finally. He got run out, but it's the first time a bowler has gotten him out, and there's been a lot spoken about how he's been a little inconsistent this season, so this is the game he wanted, because those slower ones, clearly no one seemed to be picking them today.
Yeah. It was a brilliant performance. That over in particular, I mean, he bowled to Lord Thakur, who was carving it to all parts. He walked in and smashed it. But he bowled him, I think that was the 3rd slow ball that got through the defences, 3 in a row. He played and missed at the first 2. And then when Dhoni comes to the crease, he's got to be expecting another one. And he was done all ends up. I mean, if you have a look at the replay, his bat's like way out in front of himself and dips underneath. It's just that old classical delivery that he bowls, and it was brilliantly executed.
So this is what he has to say. I'm just looking at my Cricbuzz app. He said one of the advantages of playing a day game is that the square is quite rough, so the ball starts reversing. In my first over, it was reversing.
What is his first over?
First over, he was reversing, Polly.
I think his first over was...
I mean, Polly was very surprised with that one.
We didn't really see massive amount of swing movement. But, as a bowler, sometimes if you get that feeling that it is just tailing a little bit, I don't know, but we didn't...
Which over?
The second over was his first over.
Second over, it couldn't have been reversing that early. I think his second over was the 9th. Perhaps I think he's also forgotten.
Yes.
I think it's his 9th over he's referring to, because it can't be that...
But can it really even reverse in the 9th?
There's something seriously wrong.
No, I mean, the Ajinkya got out to a ball that swung normally, and that was about the 3rd or 4th over. So, I'm not too sure about it. Also, we didn't see any late movement. The best thing was the slow deliveries that were gripping.
But clearly, whatever it was has worked for Harshal Patel today, and he again is somebody who needs that confidence under the belt, because he's been a little inconsistent, been giving away runs. So this is a game that he needed.
But again, what's happening? Okay, it's because they're winning. But what are they doing now consistently for the past 3-4 matches? Putting the same 11 in the park. They're just saying, okay, these are the guys, they're going to do it for us. And I feel for Chennai. Chennai is not the kind of team who likes to tamper. But injuries, a combination of injuries, visas, have forced them to be in a situation where they're just moving around A to B. They're playing Jenga, moving one piece here, moving one piece there, putting it back. So they are in that kind of a problem. And I think that's where you see the difference happening out here. This is a very settled Punjab team. Their coach is given the confidence, look, if anyone's going to make it, you guys are going to do it, go and do it. And the confidence is showing across the board.
Well, today's Jenga, I think the pieces didn't fit in. Again, we'll have a look at the batting card, because like we said, there was 60 for 1 in the power play. Ajinkya got out early. He went for 9. So that opening has been an area of concern. They've really missed Devon Conway. Ajinkya hasn't really stepped up yet. And then we see 32-30. They steadied the partnership, and we see a Ravindra Jadeja with 43. But otherwise, nothing really to speak about.
Yeah, nothing to brag about. I mean, the performance by Jadeja, we gave him big raps about coming in at number 4. He ended up coming at number 6 and got 43. But it also goes to show you at the top of the order. I mean, Gaikwad's been okay this season, hasn't he? He's put on some decent scores. But the value of a partnership, the value of someone else at the other end doing well, taking the pressure off you, picking up the scoring rate. And that's what he had last year with Conway. But, yeah, they haven't been able to get off to a decent start. And I'm just trying to think of Harshal's comment, and maybe what he was saying, that when he bowled the slower deliveries, once they pitched, they started to reverse. They started to reverse backwards because it was so slow.
That's the only, it can't be a reverse. It's certainly not a reverse swing.
Paulie couldn't get over it. I think his mind was still
I was trying to
stuck
sit
there. He
there
was not
working
looking
it
at the
out.
Chennai batting. He's saying, what is Harshal saying? Is he couldn't get past it, the
Because
bowler.
as a commentator, when you sit and watch, and even in our green room you're watching, you always see, you're looking for a little bit of tail.
Yes.
You know, you look, and I saw no tail with regards to like trying to target toes and dipping into toes. There was a little of that dip. Anyway, we'll have to just let it go.
Yeah, we'll go back to the Chennai batting because we'll have to decide what he was saying.
Harshal is entitled to say whatever he wants to.
After the way he
well
bowled,
today,
Yes.
he's just, and he's putting doubts in everyone else's head. Is it reversing? Is it
Maybe
not?
that's what
is
he's
it?
doing. Maybe that's the
Psychological
strategy.
ploy.
But for Chennai, Joyda, just 320 plus partnerships, and that's been the besides the top one, just 320 plus partnerships, which was the concern because you would have wanted someone to kind of steady the ship and get past that 200 mark.
Exactly, that's what they've been having. And again, if you see also Jadeja, the number of balls he faced, Jadeja was one of the last to get out, batted till the 18th over, 19th over. The problem is that he faced only about 35% of the deliveries. And what's happening, therefore, is even if you're the dominant batsman, right now, given the way Chennai is playing, he's got to start trying to take more of the strike on himself because it's clearly not happening from the other end. And this is one of the issues that you tend to face. Also, what's happening is that by Dhoni, because of his injury or for whatever reason, choosing to come in that late, that is also putting a huge amount of pressure on them because this is not the case last year. Last year, Dhoni was walking in at 7, he was walking in sometimes at 6, walking in at 7. Now he's coming in at 8, 9. I mean, that's
it's the first time in his career that he's come out at 9, and it is a proper statement now that he is injured. He can't be doing the running between the wickets, which is why he's coming out so late.
Yeah, I was flabbergasted when I saw him come out that late. I mean, even just to stand and deliver, he's destructive if he gets going. I mean, we're talking about holding back a few overs from Chahar for him, and I don't know if he was waiting for him to finish before he came out, but I very much doubt it. I suppose it's pretty disappointing for the crowd that come there too, because they want to see a bit of him, and if he's only ever going to walk out for 3 or 4 deliveries, I mean, they'll take it because they want to see him playing. But, yeah, I think if it must be like a real bad injury, because surely he can be more destructive for many more overs.
Yeah, look, it's an injury which has to do obviously with movement.
Yeah.
Because he's keeping. Okay. So it's got to do with the way he runs. He can't run for some reason. His knees are an issue. It also knees. If it's knees, I mean to keep like he does
constantly
for
squatting,
20 overs.
so.
Yeah, it can't be
it
knees.
must be
it's got
turning.
something. Yeah.
It must be turning. So if you can go down and squat as a keeper, but I think it's running and then putting the pressure on to turn.
I mean, he's been
back.
icing the calf a lot, so maybe the calf and the knee.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, it's a miracle he's going out there, still playing, still, crowds are so interested in watching.
No, and then he's getting those big 6s and 4s, which is the template.
And he has, at least in the beginning, or till the last 2-3 matches, he's really been giving them that fillip at the end.
Okay, so 167 to chase. What should Punjab do? We know what happened with RCB yesterday. They got off to a great start and then they crumbled. So do you think Punjab should just take it easy because they're not chasing any net run rate here?
No, I think they must just play their natural way. I think Johnny Bairstow's feeling it at the moment. He's feeling confident. He's in a bit of a purple patch and he just needs to play it the way he would. It goes down to that classic thing of don't overthink it. So we often used to have the strategy of when you're batting second, just bat like you're posting a score, particularly when it's a small score, because then you just play with that little bit more freedom. When you start watching the scoreboard from the start of the innings, you can get yourself into trouble. So yeah, they've got to recognise anything, put those bad deliveries away, and I think just go with the confidence that they've got.
Yeah, my point to this is that had they not batted like that yesterday, they might have lost the match. Had they been 20-25 short and the wickets fell the way they did, they might have lost the match.
So, Santner is starting. He's going to be opening the bowling. So, just giving you all that heads up before you get into the prediction game.
Yeah,
So
no
it's an even
surprise
battle.
there, no surprise. Okay, I've got to get something in the vicinity. I'm going 57.
Rub Simran in, so that
Okay, I was going to go 56, but so I'll change that. I'm going 64.
We need to get something right. 64, 57. I don't know, I'll go with, because my producer who's on my side and he's supporting me to go past GK says 51, I'll go with 51. Let's have a look at if anyone wins, because this is, like I said, the pressure is a lot on our prediction game. There's one person who celebrated is Gaurav Kapoor. He's sitting at home and he's celebrating. So the hint
He's sending out messages.
He's
of
sending
him.
messages, yes. No, just
Because
only-
none of the matches have gone to form.
Yep, none of
3
them.
matches, none of them have gone to form.
I don't know. Should I go higher than 51? Okay, I'll stick to 51. We'll wait and watch. Hope that one of us gets the prediction game right, and we'll give you updates of our prediction game and, of course, of the match at the 10-over point. We'll see you at the Cricbuzz Combox.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Punjab Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दें